Welcome back to Master Your Money and Mindset. I'm your host, Elizabeth Heiza, and today we are digging into something so many of us are living, but few of us are really talking about from a financial perspective, and that is the hidden costs of working remotely. So today's episode is for anyone and everybody who works from home, either all the time, 100%, or who is in a hybrid position where they work from home maybe 2 or 3 days a week and they go into the office the other days. So if that's you, please listen up. If it's not you, please send this episode to a friend, anybody who you know who works from home, because there are hidden financial impacts in what we think is and what can be a really great situation for work. So on the surface, working from home feels like a win. And I would definitely say it is because I work from home a few days a week. There's no commute. There's flexible hours. You can be maybe a little bit more comfy at home than you can at work. But beneath that, there are real shifts happening in personal finances, some subtle, but some a little bit more significant. Working remotely definitely gives us freedom, but it also blurs boundaries and it changes how we spend and can even impact how we earn. So in today's episode, I want to break down the hidden financial impacts of working remotely and how to stay mindful with both your money and your mindset in 3 specific instances. So the first one is we're going to talk about saving and what that looks like when you work from home. We're going to talk about the cost of comfort. And then we're going to talk about blurring your boundaries along with your budget. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. When you work from home, you're saving money, right? There's no gas, or you're paying less in gas. Maybe you're paying less in tolls. Maybe you don't have to pay for a train pass. There's no morning coffee runs. Maybe you're saving on lunch, whatever it is. Maybe not, you don't need as detailed of a wardrobe. There's definitely savings to be had when you're working from home. And those savings can easily add up to possibly hundreds of dollars in a month in newfound money. However, here's the trap I see so many people fall into, and maybe you have too. The savings that you're obviously making, it doesn't feel like real money, so it just disappears. Those saved dollars now get swallowed up by impulse purchases, a quick run to Target or ordering lunch or the random Amazon purchases. Those can be pretty hefty in a given day, week, or month. And at the end of it, you don't really even know what you bought. So this is where the mindset shift comes in. Anybody who works from home, or everybody should be thinking about this, but specifically if you work from home, every dollar should have a job. So the money that you're no longer spending on commuting or on gas or on tolls, if you don't give it a specific direction, location, or place, it'll find a job on its own. And usually that's in a place that is not going to serve you long term. So if you said to yourself, all right, great, I'm saving $200 or $300 a month in commuting costs, am I actually putting that money to work, or am I letting it drift? Could it go towards paying off a debt, or putting it towards a vacation, or investing in yourself, or opening up a Roth IRA that you've been meaning to set up? Odds are you've said to yourself, I'll do X when I have more money. So now you have this found money, but what are you doing with it? Don't just let those dollars blend into your lifestyle. Assign them, make them work for you. I am the queen of this because I'm pretty disciplined with money, meaning I say this to myself, my spouse, my family all the time. We're not going to do X because I just want to save more. We're not going to go out to eat. I'm not going to stop at Target. I'm not going to get my kids whatever it is they want every time we go someplace. And I'm really disciplined to say no and not spend the money, but I don't reallocate those dollars. So if I saved $100 because I said, no, we're not going to go out to eat tonight. We're going to just eat leftovers, or we're just going to make do with what we have, a breakfast for dinner night. Those $100 or $150 that I saved by not going out to dinner with my family, I don't redirect those quick enough. and then they just get absorbed by life. Or it was possibly another impulse spend that ate up those dollars. Either way, like I said, wherever that money went, it did not go to serving my long-term financial goals. So I'm halfway there. I know I have the discipline to say no to some impulse purchases. Amazon is still my biggest kryptonite. The one-click buy just kills me. But I am pretty disciplined to say no with most things, but I need to do better with redirecting those dollars. So that's something I'm working on. And, when it comes to Amazon, I'm very quick to buy things on Amazon. That is my guilty pleasure, I guess. And when the boxes show up and my husband says to me, "Hey, what did we buy?" And I always say, "I don't know. I forget. Let me find out." That's a pretty bad sign that I didn't really need whatever it is I'm buying, that I probably just drifted off at some point during the workday and unconsciously bought things that, of course, I'll use, but did I really need? And then $50 later, I'm annoyed that I spent it. So the obvious savings is great, but make sure you have a spot for all that money. Make sure that you are redirecting your finances. Every time you're smart enough to say no to something, put that money somewhere. So the second aspect of working from home that could affect your finances that I want you to be aware of is, what is the cost of comfort? So like I just said, working from home often leads to more impulse spending. So that's me doing midday online shopping. More flexible routines can make errands, unnecessary errands come about. Upgrading your home office, better technology, better coffee, extra subscriptions. All these things could add up. You're home more, so you also see your house more. And that can create a temptation to buy more, to renovate more. You always need something. You should be doing something. And then there's the mental cost. Remote work can sometimes lead to burnout, or you're feeling extra tired, or you're feeling lethargic at the end of the day from being online for anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. So that burnout can equal more treat yourself purchases, also, which I am the queen of. And of course, we all need to treat ourselves. That's not what I'm saying. But are you doing it at the expense of something else? If you were to go back and look at a month's worth of your finances, how many times did you treat yourself? And did that purchase really feel like a treat? Were you really happy you got yourself that expensive coffee, or maybe you bought yourself an expensive purse, or whatever it was for anybody? Did that really feel like a treat you needed? Or if you could go back and rewind that purchase, you would have felt better putting that money aside. The comfort of working from home shouldn't come at the cost of clarity. Your purchase should be about making your life and work easier. They shouldn't come with the extra guilt that could come with overspending, or with spending when you know that you shouldn't be. The third way working from home could impact your finances is there's often a blur between boundaries. And there's often a blur between boundaries and your budget. So the physical separation between work and life is now gone. So the mental and financial boundaries can be gone too. So a work lunch can now become a grocery run, or you're going to stop at Starbucks, or you're going to stop at Target and get a new planner. Next thing you know, you spent $100 extra. Daytime hours feel a little bit more fluid. So your midweek spending is going to also feel more fluid. It becomes easier to justify spending during your work hours, especially when you're stressed or distracted. So a prompting question that we could all ask is, am I making intentional decisions or just reacting throughout my day? So if something at work throws you off a bit, gets you kind of all worked up in a negative way, are you taking out that negativity on your wallet? Whereas if you were in the office, maybe you would just reach out and talk to a friend. Maybe you would go vent to your coworker. Maybe you would just take a walk around the building. Where you're at home, if you walk away from your computer, maybe you'll hop online and start spending. Maybe you'll hop in your car and go to the neighborhood coffee shop. Either way, what is that costing you? And would those dollars be better used for something else? So I thought this episode was a very fun insight that we never talk about when we talk about working from home, is that it could be impacting you more than you think. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just me. But when I look back at some of the ways my spending has increased, it definitely is due to me being home more. So I'm leaving you with the thought. You could tell me I'm crazy, but I challenge you to just take a look at your finances. Just be a little bit more intentional about how you're spending your money in the daytime. So look at where your past commuting savings are going. Look at some of the habits this new remote work life has given you. And that's great. If now you're making your coffee every morning instead of buying it, that's beautiful. But where are those dollars going now? Are you using them to help put you on a vacation, to help pay off a debt, to help contribute to your 401k? Look at where every savings dollar is going and make sure it's going to the right place. You don't have to overhaul everything, but just start by noticing. Thanks for joining me on Master Your Money and Mindset. If today's episode gave you a new perspective, send it to a friend or go ahead and share it on social or go ahead and leave us a review. I'd love to know what you're thinking. As always, keep leading with intention because how you show up in your work and your finances will create your future. Thank you for listening to Master Your Money and Mindset. You can find these episodes on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you heard. You can follow Barnum Financial Group on LinkedIn and Instagram. Thanks so much.
All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their current opinions and do not reflect the opinions their respective parent companies or affiliates or the companies with which the program participants are affiliated. Investments or strategies mentioned in this program may not be suitable for you, and you should make your own independent decision regarding them. This material does not take into account your particular investment objectives, financial situation, or needs, and is not intended as recommendations appropriate for you. You should strongly consider seeking advice from your own investment advisor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through qualified registered representatives of MML Investor Services, LLC. Member SIPC, 6 Corporate Drive, Shelton, Connecticut, 06484, telephone number 203-513-6000.